Hello, you're listening to Adam Yurchik, recording for TCGplayer.com. You're joining me for round 2 of my 10th edition flashback draft. Thank you. I won the die roll, and I'm going to choose to play first with my aggressive green-red deck. And I have a nice curve of green creatures and forests, so I'm going to keep this. And I also have aggressive urge to help push through my creatures. And if my opponent is playing green, this Rushwood Dryad is going to be an excellent play. My opponent mulligans to 6. He opens on a mountain. I'll play a Might Weaver. If he is playing red-green, I want him to shock my Might Weaver and not Rushwood Dryad. The ability on Might Weaver is very, very corner case compared to the possibility that Rushwood Dryad is really good against his deck. I pick up another Root Walla. That seems quite good. He's playing red-black. He has Hate Weaver, which is a better Weaver. It pumps up his creatures. Gladly trade. And if he doesn't, then he takes damage. So it's all good for me. And then I'm going to play the Root Walla. And then the next turn I'll do the same thing, probably. If I can get in with Lightning Elemental, I'll probably play that if I draw a Mountain. I might also pump Root Walla and cast Aggressive Urge or cast Rushwood Dryad. But hopefully I draw land. And Aggressive Urge will help get me there. He's thinking long and hard about blocking here. Aggressive Urge will not save my creature. So he takes it, and I'll play a Root Walla and pass it back. Now, of course, if he attacks me, I'm not blocking with Root Walla. So he does attack, so he's looking to be aggressive. I should consider that he has something that lets him be aggressive. Wow, Lightning Elemental. He could have a removal spell, but at the other time he might just eat a bunch of damage. I think perhaps a better play is to pump Root Walla and play the Dryad, or simply play the Root Walla. I'm just going to attack and play the Root Walla. He just F6'd his turn, so I don't know what was up. So his 2/3 first strike shuts down my 2/1, but not the Root Wallas. And if he sets up a double block, which looks like he might, then I can absolutely wreck him with Aggressive Urge. So I'll just send with both, hope he double blocks, and if he does, I'll cast Aggressive Urge and probably lock up the game, barring some powerful plays from him, which are certainly possible. And this will be great because it takes out his 2/3, and that allows me to get in with the 2/1. But he just takes it, so I'm just going to deal 8 damage. I'm just going to get in. The Rushwood Dryad doesn't do anything. And this puts him at really high risk of dying to Lightning Elemental. And then next turn, he's in no better position. He just is going to be forced to block and walk into the urge. So he passes. So now this is tricky. Because if I go for aggressive urge, he could cast a burn spell and blow me out. He could also just die. I also have Shivan Dragon, so I could just wait. This is actually pretty tough. I almost think the play is just Lightning Elemental pass. My favorite play. It could also just be go for it and try to kill him. I could also just wait because I have Shivan Dragon, and if he just wants to do this draw-go game, I'll win with the dragon. I'm just playing the elemental and passing. If he wants to remove something, he should do it. Lightning Elemental is just there to have an extra threat in play. I really want to punish him from doing something. If he makes the wrong move, I could just kill him. So he has to play conservatively, and then that should play into the dragon. I suppose because the Root Walla. I see. So he has Hate Weaver. His plan was to use Hate Weaver to make his bodyguard block, probably Hate Weaver on the Might Weaver, and then bodyguard to make his bodyguard a 4/3 first strike to eat a Root Walla and then go to 2, and I could have just cast the Urge on the Root Walla. I think that's actually what he was doing. And then he was just dead. Or not dead, but I would have eaten the bodyguard. He would have taken 4. I think that was probably too conservative on my part. And then now that Lightning Elemental doesn't look much better. I don't know if it can attack. So he has... I can send the Elemental because that would mean he has to chump block the Root Wallas, and he just concedes. So I think I should have actually just went with the Root Wallas last turn. Simply because if he double blocked like I thought he would, I could still trade with his Hate Weaver and his bodyguard for both of them, so I don't have to do anything. I don't have to cast the Urge. He sets up a double block, I cast the... Or sorry, he double blocks, I pump with Root Walla. Then I would trade unless he does something. So I missed an opportunity there, and I should have just seen he was going to use the board. But I get the game, go to the next one. Lightning Elemental doesn't look great. Again, I'm going to cut it for the bodyguard. And that's it. I like the rest of it. I guess I could cut the Canopy Spider for... I'll put the Canopy Spider in the deck for the Rushwood Dryad because he doesn't have Forest and it's not doing much. And the Might Weaver is fine. I could cut the Might Weaver for a Rampant Growth, but I don't think that's on plan. I don't want to ramp on turn 2. I want to play a creature. So he keeps on the play, and I open up on a great hand of some 2-drops and my 2 bomb cards and mana. So this is fine. And if I draw a nice stream of action and spells, I should be in good shape. Play Mountain, scare him with Shock, like he did to me last game. Dredge Skeleton. It's a good blocker against my aggressive deck. So White Weaver's not going to do a lot. It looks like I should probably cut that for game 3. If we get there. I'll play Grizzly Bears and start taxing his mana. They're stunned. So that is a way to get around the Dredge Skeleton for a turn with Might Weaver, and then I can overrun later to get Might Weaver through again. So we could, in theory, get in 7 damage with Might Weaver around that Dredge Skeleton. So I'm definitely going to play it next turn if I don't have anything else to do. No reason to attack here. Now there is. Really, there always is. There's low risk of it dying, but it ties up a mana in case he has a 3-mana card to play. And it's even if I didn't draw Root Walla, it would be right to attack in case he has a 3-mana play that would kill the Grizzly Bears. And also, if I was going to play Might Weaver, he could have Afflict, and attacking with the bear and making him regenerate prevents him from casting Afflict. Root Walla, obviously a great draw there. It's likely to just get blocked by the skeletons, but I'm at least making progress. I'm just going to attack with both, then play the Might Weaver and pass, and leave up Stun and Aggressive Urge. I don't want to use Stun yet because I want to get more damage through with it, and I want to keep Aggressive Urge up until it's better, and maybe I could counter Burn Spell or something. I don't necessarily need to use all my mana this turn. And then next turn I can set up a Stun. So he blocks that. He doesn't block Root Walla. I'm not going to pump Root Walla. He makes his creature a 3/3. But he puts down the regeneration shield, so I will happily Aggressive Urge. Happily trade there. That's awesome for me. He basically 2-for-1 himself. Now I'll get Might Weaver into play on an empty board and pressure him. I also drew Canopy Spider, which I could have played, but on an empty board I want to get in for damage. So that was a great turn of events. His play was interesting. It would have eaten my guy, but then it makes his Dredge Skeleton have to attack me. So it turns off a blocker, and I don't think he wanted to be too aggressive yet. But I don't know if his draw has a lot to work with. He probably has some powerful cards in there, if this is all he's played so far. My plan is going to be to stun his creature and just get in for 6 by pumping Root Walla. And then the next turn, play the Canopy Spider and wait until I hit mana for Overrun. Could have also just played the Spider and not pumped, but that doesn't deal quite as much damage. I think just maximizing is the way to go, but he actually just concedes. And I hit land to cast Sheevan Dragon. So that worked out well. And please join me for the finals of the draft. Thank you for watching.